I believe that God created all of us. And I believe that God created different sexualities, just as there are diversities in every aspect of creation, whether you look at fruit, whether you look at plants, whether you look at birds, you look at fish, diversity is everywhere. You look at humanity, we are diverse, we're not the same. Even if you belong to the same racial group, you are not the same. So if there is diversity in everything, from our eyesight, the shape of our nose, the shape of our lips, if there is diversity in the entire biology, why can there not be diversity in sexuality? It is the norm. So in my understanding, and what makes me an ally is because I believe in a creator God who creates diversity in every element of life, including sexuality.
If we really want to be progressive religious leaders, we need to be visible in the church. We need to align ourselves to various departments, show our skills and our talents, bring our treasures, support the work of our various religious communities. That way, we can be able to influence decisions, and we can be able to have a space where we would talk about our stories, and we'll get listening ears from the religious leaders. But when we keep isolating ourselves from our religious community, it builds a stumbling block that doesn't allow us to, effectively engage with our religious leaders.
We don't need to invent a new Islam. We can, for those who wants to reinvent the wheel, but from within Islam, we find plenty of arguments that after 20 years of studying Islam, I discovered when I was over 30 years old, I discovered that there's like effeminate man and masculine women and transgender identities that are quoted in our cultural and also religious texts, while the Prophet himself, peace be upon him, welcomed in his home effeminate man, masculine women, transgender individuals, and was at peace with that. And he never killed anyone for that kind of thing. So yeah, it becomes their problem, not yours anymore. That's also a strategy after, the coffee, praying, hugging, that you can, use on a long term.
Just because people belong to a particular church background or from a country which is very, conservative, doesn't negate opportunities to dialogue. Because as long as we are dealing with human beings, there's always an opportunity of a dialogue. And I think those personal dialogues make changes. In spite of their church or their faith community or their country conservative, hey, sit down for a cup of tea. Let's talk. Here I am. This is my life reality.
In the seminary, we always talk about God being bigger than the Bible, God being bigger than the church. We should begin to teach people that our understanding of God is not fixed. It's not doctrine. It's not dogma. It's not something set in stone, but it's a continuing journey of life. There's an infinity of possibilities in our experiences of God. And so this infinity of possibilities in our experiences of God is not just an idea, but it's real in the bodies of human beings, of LGBTQI persons, of disabled people. Whatever our challenges are, God relates to us if we seek God.
In the philosophy of Ubuntu, we believe that a face-to-face conversation carries a lot of power, because I can look into your eye, you can read my lips, you can feel my heart, you can feel my energy, and we therefore can connect as human beings, and not just connect with our heads and our ideas, but you'll then begin to see that I'm like you. And as we have this conversation now, there is nothing sexual about it. That is the kind of power that dialogue has carried for us over the years, that we began to see each other as human beings. And we began to also understand from that place of the heart to say, actually, we all feel God the same way. We all understand God the same way. No matter where we come from, the pains that we go through are similar.
I think that our meeting the other ministers, meeting other people from other faith, it is not a utilitarian situation. We cannot push our agenda just to talk about gender and sexuality and that's it. We need to create a relationship because gender and sexuality are only one part of what a human person is. We are more than that. We have many other areas in our life that are important. So I think that the best way is to foster friendship, to know each other, and to share other experiences beyond the topic in order to also be able to talk about gender and sexuality. We need to create respect and we need to create friendship, community, communion in order to talk about those painful situations that we are dealing with.
I think what I have achieved to do is at least keep the dialogue going, at least keep talking about it, keep bringing to their notice the amount of discrimination that's happening in their own religion and the amount of pain that it's causing to their own people. And I feel that someday or the other that is going to help this change the movement and help this change the dialogue or conversation. And I really hope that the young religious leaders that are coming out, that are are more aware, are more read up on, are maybe more in touch with people who are from different genders or different sexualities. I really hope that they will bring about this change or bring about this change of mindsets, to be very honest. They will help in understanding this community a little better.
Once we have a cohort of strong religious leaders who are supportive, we use them to reach out to their colleagues. So it's a process that also takes time. There are some leaders that even if you sensitize them for 20 years, they would never change. So we have developed, as NIAWEC have developed a tool or a screener, that before we engage any other religious leader, we expose them to that tool to determine whether they're people who are capable of moving even a step far towards being supportive. And of course, providing them with resources in terms of maybe biblical resources that you affirm their faith, and also providing them with spaces where they can also have peer support, because in many cases, they get kicked out of their churches once they are known to be supportive of the work that we do.
Lo consulté con un rabino de mi comunidad, el cual me daba como una cura mágica, porque decía que era una enfermedad que podía curarse, y que como la solución era ingresar a una escuela de estudios hebreos para poder seguir con la tradición judía. Los principales aliados para las comunidades LGBT es el poder del diálogo, el entender que uno no está solo y que crear espacios seguros donde las personas LGBT se sientan confortables. Eso cuesta un tiempo de aprendizaje, tanto del colectivo LGBT como de las instituciones o de las comunidades o de las partes más espirituales.